more secretive about what I'm really doing, what I'm really feeling, what I'm really planning. I think it's be what I'm really feeling. Thanks to a new update, my predictive text now understands me so well that I can compose entire messages showing what I really want to say. I'd use this mostly for arguments, romantic situations, work-related conversations. I don't really argue through text, it's just, no. I don't have the patience to argue through text, and I do enjoy writing romantic text to my husband. So I think I would use it for work-related conversations. Given only 1 week, which do I feel more confident I could learn to do? Solve a Rubik's Cube, train a poorly behaved dog to master Fortnite dance. I already know how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I don't know, it didn't take me a long time to learn. I didn't have to learn, I was just fiddling around with it. I figured out a solution. I started applying that solution and slowly I was able to solve it multiple times. It did not take me a week. It took me, the first Rubik's Cube I solved took me 50 minutes. The next one I would say 45. A few took me an hour, but as time progressed and as I was learning how to solve it through trial and error, it never took me a week. Train a poorly behaved dog. I do not have much experience with dogs, so I think I'm gonna go with the C Master a Fortnite dance because I don't know anything about Fortnite, but I would like to learn. Which do I think is the best invention? Text messaging, video calls, they're both equally great. I think I'm gonna go with they're both equally great. Which do I think would raise more money at a charity auction? A ticket to see me do a stand-up comedy, a restaurant meal with me as a chef, an original painting of mine. I think I'm gonna go with an original painting of mine because I don't think many people would be interested in my comedy. I'm not that funny. And restaurant meal with me as a chef, I don't know, but paintings usually, for some weird reason, go for a lot of money, especially when it comes to auctions, so I'm gonna go with the C. I'm more likely to enjoy my parents' or guardians' music, listen to the same song over and over again, change my taste in music a lot. Okay. Actually, I listen to the music that my husband has introduced me to most of the time, but he's neither my parent nor my guardian. It don't change my taste in music at all, so I think I'm gonna go with listen to the same song over and over again because that is something I do quite often. I think I do my best to work as a computer technician, a personal stylist, and news anchor. I'm gonna go with the C, a news anchor. a kid who really wanted a mentor and I didn't have one. I think my family are more traditional, modern, an even mix of both. I think they're an even mix of both. I've seen families that were more traditional than my parents, and families that were more modern than my parents. So I think it's a mix of both. Which am I proudest of? Where I spend most of my time, whom I spend most of my time with, what I spend most of my time doing. I think what I spend most of my time doing, because I usually do things I really enjoy. I'd rather have a job with more enjoyable work but less pay, less enjoyable work but more pay, less work but a long commute. I think I'm gonna go with B, because I feel like sometimes I am a little bit stuck at work and I don't progress, or I don't look to progress because of how much I like my job. And because I like my job this much, I'm not motivated to change anything. But if I liked it less, I think I would be more money motivated in a way. So I'm gonna go with B, even though I'm really lucky where I am. I think the world would be more different without music, sports, drawings. Drawings have played a huge role, especially. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go. I think they're all important, but I think music is a little bit more important. So it goes in order, actually: music, then sports, and I think then drawings, unfortunately. My friends have seen recordings of my daydreams from the past year. How much am I expecting them to learn about me that they didn't already know? A lot. One or two things, or barely anything. I think I would say a lot, because my daydreams are about... I don't usually make hypothetical scenarios in my daydreams. Sometimes I do, but it's mostly what's been going on in my life, how I'm feeling, so I think they would learn a lot. Okay. Which kind of advantage would I rather have in life? To be naturally strong, charismatic, or lucky? I think C, lucky, because I can become strong. I can become charismatic if I want to, with practice, even though charismatic is a little bit more like... but I think lucky is something that you don't control. The world is better off because Facebook was invented. I agree, disagree. I think it's just different. But yeah, I think it's just different. The World Air Hockey Championships have begun. 3 rival teams wanted to sign me up. I'd prefer to be the best player on the worst team, the worst player on the best team, an average player on an average team. I think... I don't know. Air hockey, I don't even know what that is. If I really like the sport, I would say I want to be the worst player on the best team so that I can learn from everyone. At some point I will become good. The best player on the worst team, it will feel like I'm carrying the whole team on my shoulders, which I watching fish swim hugging a tree. I think watching fish swim, because sometimes I liked watching my prawns. Which house when I see them like jumping from one leaf to the other and they do their little legs until they get there. So adorable. Which house rule would I like everyone to agree to? If it's not yours, don't touch it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. If you make a mess, clean it up. I'm usually the one making the mess, and I don't. Sometimes I struggle not with cleaning up, but with putting my thoughts in order to clean up. For example, what should I do first? So sometimes when I'm overwhelmed with this happens when I get creative in the kitchen and I decide to make stuff from scratch. But I'm quite good at it. So when that happens and I make a whole mess in the kitchen, I usually ask my husband, or if my mom is there, my mom, like, where do I start cleaning? And they tell me first do this, first do that, and I'm like, okay, thank you. So they always help me with, I don't expect them to help me with the cleanup, but sometimes with the order of things I should do. So I am usually that person. I think if it's not yours, don't touch it, because even though I'm okay with people touching my stuff, I don't like it when they touch it and move my stuff, either to organize them or, yeah. I think I'm gonna go with A. Actually, C is more important. Now, come to think of it, C is more important. So I'm gonna go with C. How often did I get into trouble at school? Pretty often, not that often, or never. I think I was getting in trouble not very often, but I was as a kid. If I could mass produce one of these things and give them to the people of 500 years ago, which do I think would be more dramatically alter the course of human history? Bicycles, prescriptive lenses, or McDonald's? I think prescriptive lenses, maybe bicycles as well, but 500 years ago, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with lenses because I'm pretty sure many people were legally blind and couldn't see, and that would have helped them a lot, because I also wear glasses and contact lenses, and if I take them off, I really struggle. So imagine that happening 500 years ago, people not being able to see anything. They wouldn't be able to work, hunt, and it would keep getting worse. My favorite drinks are sweet, healthy, caffeinated. I think I'm gonna go with sweet. I like caffeinated and healthy drinks, but have you tried pineapple Fanta? It's the best. Do I like the sound of my own voice? Yes, I love the sound of my own voice. I've university and I switched at the last minute. So, like physics, I hold very near to my heart. I get more motivated by the chance of owning something I've never owned, doing something I've never done, seeing something I've never seen, doing something I've never done, or seeing something I've never seen. I think I'm gonna go with C, because that entails some traveling, and seeing places that are once in a lifetime experiences. Which would I rank as most painful? Eating something at Nando's with the excess hot peri-peri sauce, making a joke to a crowd of people I don't know very well, and none of them laughing, watching the final episode of a TV show that I like. I am quite good with spicy food. I have a good high tolerance with spicy food. Making a joke to a crowd of people I don't know very well. Okay, that I do that sometimes, and nobody laughs. I try to tell a joke, nobody laughs, and then I ask the person closest to me, "You got it right?" So it's not painful. But watching the final episode of a TV show that I like, I never watched a final episode of any series. I went, for example, The Big Bang Theory. I never watched the final episode of Breaking Bad. I never watched the final episode. What other series? Friends. I never watched the final episode, mainly because I which would make me feel more anxious. Receiving a call from an unknown number, eating a messy meal on a date, using a stranger's loo. None of them make me anxious, so I might go with A. But I don't know. Do I want to live my life in a minimalist way? Yes, but only some areas of my life, or no? I think I'm gonna go with yes, but only in some areas of my life. I'd rather be called Ace, Axel, or Azor. I think I'm gonna go with C for this one, which has had more of an impact on me, the shows I've watched, the books I've read, or the places I've visited. First is the places I've visited, then the books I've read, and then the shows I've watched. If I were stuck on top of a mountain, which would I find hardest? Using the sun and stars to get my bearings, starting a fire to warm myself up and signal for help, finding edible plants and animals. I think it would be C, which is finding edible plants and animals, because I don't know anything about those two, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna struggle. Do I believe in anything supernatural? A, yes, B, no, or C, I used to. And I wish I could go back and believe in those things again. I'm more likely to admire people who are socially intelligent, intellectually intelligent, creatively intelligent. I think I'm gonna go with A, because I feel like a little bit I lack social intelligence than I do intellectuality or creativity. And because I lack it, I admire it more on people who have it. Which smell do I prefer? The smell of fish and chips, a real Christmas tree, or sun cream? A real Christmas tree, I think. And also Christmas is my favorite holiday. I'd prefer to be a mer person, live to 300, be able to teleport short distances. It would be a good idea to teleport short distances, especially when there is traffic. You can just skip it. I'm more likely to lose myself listening to music, singing to music, dancing to music. Listening to music. Which do I think could be more convincingly? Which I think I could do more convincing? Eat an oxo cube and make people think I was enjoying it. Being interviewed live on the BBC and pass for technology expert. Pretend I could understand someone talking to me in another language. I'm gonna go with the C. I think I'm gonna go with C. In addition to English, I'd rather be fluent in Chinese, Swedish and Hindi, Arabic, Russian and German, Spanish, Hebrew and Japanese. I think I'm gonna go with B, because I quite like German, I quite like Russian, and I started learning Arabic, so B. I'm an astronomer who has discovered their first planet. What do I name it after myself? Someone or something important to me, the planet's defining features. I'm gonna go with B, someone or something important to me. I'd be most bothered if I forgot to eat breakfast at the start of the day, brush my teeth at the start of the day, put on deodorant at the start of the day. Sometimes I skip breakfast, which isn't good, but brushing my teeth, I don't feel good if I don't brush my teeth. messages in case I receive something. So I do struggle to switch off from work. Because I'm not very good at that one. Sugarcoating criticism. I am a little bit good at it, but if you're really close to me, I'm more of a tough love kind of person. But I do want to try to get better at it because I don't like hurting people's feelings. So I think being assuming, in a way, depending on the person. When on holiday, I am a culture sun worshipper, party animal. It depends. If it's like a short holiday, then I'm gonna go worship the sun more than I would going sightseeing. But I do like trying local stuff. So I think A, then B, and then C. I'm not so much of a party animal. Compared to the average person, how humble would I say I am? More humble, about as humble, less humble? I would say about as humble. Hearing the news usually makes me fearful, fortunate, furious. Recently makes me furious. I don't want to get into it, but it does make me furious. I'd be least likely to admit to accidentally giving a stranger the wrong directions. Spilling juice on a friend's new carpet, my runny nose dripping into the pudding. I think I will not admit that I gave someone wrong directions, because I would not know. I don't think I would admit. Yeah. I've been asked by a trusted company to test one of their inventions at home for a month. Which one do I pick to test? Their jetpacks, their invisibility suits, their holographic phone calls. Invisibility suits, which would be more viable to a climate crisis charity. My time, my ideas, my skills. I usually have pretty good ideas. I don't know how they can use my time or my skills, but my ideas are pretty good most of the time. Which do I find more difficult in knowing how much to believe the media, tell my friends about what's going on in my life, spend on a new phone? It's not that, like, sometimes I believe the media, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I tell people what's happening in my life, sometimes I don't. But recently, I find myself not telling people what's been happening in my life. I think I'm struggling a little bit to, the combination of allergies that most hate to have is nuts and seafood, dairy and lentils, wheat and raw vegetables. Nuts and seafood. I like nuts. I love seafood. So I wouldn't want to have that, which is more likely to keep me up at night. A problem unsolved, a mistake made, an opportunity missed. A problem unsolved. I won't be able to sleep until I fix the problem. I think the biggest little lie told to children is it's for your own good. You should never tell lies. Kids were better behaved in my day. almost said hips instead of heads. How much do I use my instinct? I base most of my decisions on instinct. I use my instinct a fair amount. I don't think I use my instinct very much. I think I use my instinct a fair amount. Sometimes I use my logic more. Sometimes my emotion. And sometimes my instinct. I'm more likely to get anxious when go to places I've never gone before, do things I've never done before, meet people I've never met before. I'm gonna go with C. If I were stranded in a parallel universe, I'd rather it was one. Everyone sounded the same, everyone looked the same, everyone thought the same. I don't know. I think that one will make me extremely depressed. So I'm gonna go with everyone look the same. That would be funny. If we all look the same, how am I gonna be able to tell who you are? I'd rather be a voice-over artist, a fortune cookie writer, a teddy bear designer. I think I would like to be a voice-over artist. Which do I feel more often? Sclerosis, analyzing why you're happy so much that you stop being happy. Annulment, wishing you could tell your past self about the future. Excellence is realizing that people you're talking to won't be able to relate to what you're saying. This is not due for everyone, but I don't stop myself from feeling happy, and I don't care about telling my future self anything. So I think this is something we all experience a little bit sometimes. I think the driverless cars will never take off, be extremely popular, always be a niche market. I think it will always be a niche market, mainly because many people enjoy driving. Many people willingly don't even want automatic cars, they prefer manual cars. And I think it will be a niche market because self-driving cars make it take a little bit of the driving experience away of a driver who wants to be more involved with his car. So I think it will always be a niche market. I'm given an extra hour every day. I'd prefer to spend it socializing, meditating, exercising. I think I'm gonna go with B, meditating. In my experience, no news is bad news, no news is good news, no news is no news. If I was asked to judge a tournament, I'd rather it was the world's ugliest dog competition, a global bodybuilding championship, the rock, paper, scissors, league. You don't even need to ask. See? We have 3 left. 1, 2, actually 4. Okay. I think I'm more suited to being a comedian, a park ranger, a philosopher. I think I'm not very funny. Sometimes I tell good jokes, but I don't think I'm funny. For the next sometimes I struggle to define the word art through just the skill. Which would be worse, finding out I'm 2 years older than I thought, winning 500,000 pounds in lottery but losing the ticket, having hiccups for a whole year. I'm gonna go with this is the first, this is the second, that's the third. So see, if I were a video game character, which of my stats would be highest? Stealth, unarmed combat, dexterity, beam, I think. On my average day, which number do I think is bigger? The number of steps I take, the number of seconds I spend on my phone. They're about the same. I'm gonna go with B, the number of seconds I spend on my phone. I think I have more experience in being put under a lot of pressure, making decisions when nobody else will, calming situations down when they get heated. I think it's B, because I'm usually a decision maker, and I make decisions quite quick, and I don't really change my mind. I'm a very decisive person, so when this is what people come to me for advice for, like, they tell me what do I do, because I know the answer right away. And with my life as well, I never struggle with decisions. I'd rather spend an hour reading a dictionary, a self-help book, a gossip magazine. Right now, I think I could use, sometimes self-help books, I start reading them and then by the third line my mind drifts off.